Hello, welcome to Zigmatech Learning Hub. I'll be your instructor for English language. For this class, we are going to be taking our exercises from the ExamGuide app. If you don't have the application already installed on your device, I will want you to download the app in order to follow along in the class. ExamGuide is a leading educational app that helps students prepare adequately for various exams like UTME, post-UTME, WEAC, GCE, KCPE, IJMB, JUPEB, Cowbellpedia, BESE, JSCE, NCEE, NECO, etc. You can download the app from www.examguide.com or Google Play Store. Please subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to be updated on new videos. Ready for today's class? Okay, let's get started. It's another English class, and today we'll be looking at a very interesting topic. I say it's interesting because it's one topic that poses a problem to students, most especially in the aspect of oral English. So today we want to look at silent letters in English language. Silent letters in English language. Now we'll have our specific objectives. Pardon my not putting S, specific objectives. So by the end of the lesson, students should be able to define silent letters, outline the silent letters, and give examples. Yes, these are the things we'll actually achieve. So we'll start off first off by defining silent letters or understanding what silent letters really are. Now, I would want to assume, before I give the definition, that the topic itself is quite explanatory, being that we're looking at silent letters. Okay, possibly letters that you don't hear when you pronounce them, because when you say that something is silent, that means it's not audible. So it's important that we know that in English language, we have certain letters that would be referred to as visible. You can see that they are there in a particular word. You can see that they are there in certain words, but at the point of pronunciation, you don't pronounce that particular letter. Now, I would like us to understand one thing, or rather two things. That first, letters are used in spelling, while sounds are used in pronunciation. Now, when you see a particular letter, that letter has a sound that it goes with at the point of pronunciation. So if I see letter S, I know already that S has a sound. Now, if I see letter C, most times we don't have C as sound. Rather, where we have C changes to K or Ch, where it has H by the side. So now what do we mean by silent letters? By silent letters we mean, or rather we refer to those letters that are not pronounced at the point of pronunciation. It's not like the letters are not there. It's not like we don't have the right word for the letter. But what we are saying is that at the point of pronunciation, the letters are silent. That's why we refer to them as silent letters. Now, we said that silent letters are letters that you don't pronounce when saying a word. They are written down. Yes, that's why I said they are visible. You see them, but you don't say them out loud. Or sometimes you don't even say them. You don't say them, let alone being said out loud. Why some, you say them, but they are not loud. Now, there are numerous words with silent letters in English. They are handful. We have a handful of them. So we'll basically look at them, and we'll pray that when we see questions on oral English that demands our knowledge of silent letters, we would not fail in them. So let's first go over to the letters that are rarely. If ever they are silent. These are the letter F, letter Q, letter R, letter V, letter Y. In British English, there can be some silent R's. Now let's look at the word center. You will agree with me that the word center, the R is visible, but when you're pronouncing them, you don't hear the R. You don't say central. No. But if you have the word central, that is where the R is pronounced. So we have certain letters that are silent and they can as well be audible. So in some slang terms, they are also called dummy letters. Dummy letters. There is no linguistic or phonetic name for silent letters except it's just silent letters. There is no special name for it. So if there are 5 letters that are not silent, then we can say that 21 are, we can say that there are 21 silent letters. We've looked at those letters that basically may not be silent, but we have about 21 of them that are actually silent. Now let's look at this diagram. Now the letters with the red ink are the silent letters. The letters with red ink are the silent letters. So I will try pronouncing the words, and you will see that I will not pronounce those words. Now the first one says giraffe. Giraffe. It has the letter E, but the E is not pronounced. Cake. We have letter E, but it's not pronounced. People. Gnat. G-N-A-T, type of animal. Ant is gnat, not gnat. So you see that the G is as well not pronounced. Gnome. G-N-O-M-E. So the G is silent, likewise the E. Sign. You see the sign, can you make a sign so that people will see how to locate your house? So the G in the word sign is also silent. We have no, that's G-N-U. It's an animal, but you see that the G, just like gnat, is also silent. We have cheetah. Cheetah ends with the letter H, but the H is not pronounced. It can be cheetah. Cheetah. No, it's not. Then we have ghosts. The ghosts, we have H at the point of spelling, but at the point of pronunciation, the H, letter H is silent. We have R, hour, hour. I've been here an hour ago, not an hour ago. No, the H is silent. When we continue, we'll see other words that start with H, but they are silent. Now we have Noel. Noel is a type of sheep, Noel. So the H is not pronounced. Some scholars will spell it as N-A-R-W-H-A-L-E, or whichever is correct, but know it that the H is not pronounced. And when we add the E to it, the E is as well not pronounced. Then a place of learning that we all know is called school. And in school, we have H in the spelling, but the H is not pronounced. We have the stomach. Stomach is a word, a part of the body, but we know that it ends with CH. The H is not pronounced. Rather, it ends with the K sound. Remember, I told us that letter C changes to K or Ch. So where we have the CH not sounding as Ch, else we would have said that the CH letters were pronounced. But because it's not sounding as Ch and it's rather sounding as K, the C ends the word stomach. So the H is just a physical letter, but not sounded. Whale, a type of fish, is another word that the H is not pronounced. We have other examples. Wheat, wheel, whistle, knee, businessman. You said that the I is not pronounced. Business, not businessman, no. It's businessman, businessman. You see the other one, knife, night. In the word night, we see that GH is not pronounced. K is not also pronounced. That's why we have this night as synonymous, or rather a homophone to N-I-G-H-T, because they sound alike, but different spellings and meanings. Now we have knot, to tie something, to knot it. We have knowledge. The K is not pronounced. E is not also pronounced. We have almond, a type of, yes, is a almond, yes, is a type of fruit that is taken, or a nut. Let me refer to it as a nut. It's a nut that is taken. So it's not almond nut, rather it's almond. That makes that a longer R sound. Almond, almond. The word calf, the L is not pronounced, so it takes a longer R sound. Calf. Likewise, chalk. Likewise, palm and salmon. Salmon. All right, these are other examples with letters that are not pronounced. Diamond. Diamond is just the I that has the I sound. The A is not pronounced. If the A were to be pronounced, maybe it would have taken the special sound we call the schwa sound, inverted E written downward. So it would have been diamond, diamond, diamond. No, so it can't even be that. So we have bomb, not bomb, not bomb for explosion for used during the war, no, for fights. So the right pronunciation is bomb, not bomb. The bomb was thrown and there was a lot of destruction around the environment. So what we use to, do justice to our hair to make it look neat is the comb, not comb. The B is silent. Lamb, the lamb that was slain, not lamb. Now somebody that comes to fix our pipe when we have water leakage or something, it's called plumber. Plumber, not plumber. It's not called plumber, rather it's called plumber. Then you have your thumb, not thumb. You have tomb, not tomb. Look at the word muscle, scientist, the C is silent. Scissors, the C is silent. Handkerchief, not handkerchief, rather is handkerchief. We have the badger and we have badge. So all these letters are silent at the point of pronunciation. Now let's look at the rules of silent letters. It is very important that we understand rules so that when we are in an exam condition and we are faced with words with silent letters or a particular word has been given and you're asked to get the word that has the same sound as the underlined, you will not find it difficult. Number one, we said words with silent B. There are words that have B visibly written, but at the point of pronunciation, remember I said that these silent letters are dictated when we are pronouncing the words. When we are looking at them, they are there, we can see them. But when our mouths or organs of articulation come together to articulate these words or to produce these words, you find out that certain letters are omitted. There are no sounds specified for them. Now, rule 1 says that B is not produced after M. So when you have a word that has MB, MB, the M comes before the B, that B is not pronounced. Please, let's take note of this, very important, that when you have the letter M before the letter B, there is always the tendency that the word ends with its pronunciation at not at B. So we have examples as limb, crumb, dumb, comb, bum, thumb, climb, tomb, not climb. I am climbing the stairs, not I am climbing. Make sure that at the point you're pronouncing these words, your upper and your lower lip do not come together because that's a B. But is a nasal sound, and as such it comes from the inside. So if I'm pronouncing L-I-M-B, it should be limb, 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 not limb. No, it shouldn't. So rule number 2 under the letter B is usually not pronounced or produced before T. So if I have the letter B and I have a T subsequently at the end, it will not be pronounced. So look at this word, depth. Depth. Some people say depth. I'm owing a depth. No, rather you're owing a debt. Now somebody will ask what's the difference between D-E-B-T and D-E-A-T-H. Now the TH is not. So the difference is that why this is debt, I'm owing a debt. The other one says death is knocking. Death is knocking. You see that you hold your upper teeth, your upper and your lower teeth, they hold onto the tongue while pronouncing D-E-A-T-H. But in this one, there is a clear sound of T. The upper and the lower teeth come together to articulate the T sound. So we have doubt, the B is not pronounced. I'm a debtor, not a debtor. I'm a debtor, all right? So you have doubtful, you have subtle, not subtle. Then you have subtleness. So these are the words or ways that we can identify the B sound or the letter B not being audible at the point of pronunciation. A root word is the original word in its root form without any prefix or suffix attached to it. Example, doubt is the root word for doubtful, and the full is a suffix. Subtle is a root word for the word subtleness, and the suffix is ness. So let's look at words with silent C. Are there words with silent C? Yes, a whole lot of them. So we have examples as muscle, we have scissors, we have accent, we have miscellaneous, we have fascinate, scenario. You have exceptions as sclera. These words, in these other exceptions, we could say that the C's are pronounced. Scalpade, sclerosis, muscovado, and skeptic. These are words that the C's are pronounced. Now, rule number 2 is usually redundant before the letters K and Q. You don't pronounce them before the letters K and Q. All right, so we have acquaintance. That C is not pronounced. It's thrown away. Acknowledge. Acknowledge, you have acquaint and you have acquit. So these words have C in them, but the C's are not pronounced. Now, silent D, it says D is not pronounced in the following common words: handkerchief, Wednesday, sandwich, and handsome. So in these words, they are common words, they are everyday words. Handkerchief, Wednesday, the day of one of the days of the week. So it's not Wednesday. No, rather it's Wednesday, because the D is not pronounced. So it's not handsome because you think there are two words coming together. No. So it's handsome. The D is silent. Then rule number 2 says D is also not pronounced in the combination where you have D and G. The D is not pronounced. That it goes with one of the consonant sounds, the G sound. It comes like letter D with a Z and a curved sound. It's a G sound. So we have pledge, that's that sound. It's not D that is sounded. It's not D that is sounded, but rather the G sound. So we have pledge, dodge, grudge, hedge. So not the D sound, but the G sound. So we have silent E and silent G. Now there are words that end with E and the E is not pronounced. Why? Because it's either the vowel within the word. Yes, the vowel within the word before the consonant that led to the E, it's either a long vowel sound or a diphthong. So once it's in that case, there won't be need pronouncing the E. Look at these examples. Hope. Hope is a diphthong that it's in this letter O. Hope. I hope I will see you tomorrow. So because of that, the E is not pronounced. Same with drive, gave, write, sight, grave, bite, hide. Crude is a long vowel sound. Crude is a long vowel sound, and as such, the E is not pronounced. Likewise, rude, rude. And now favorites, not favorites. I'm your favorite student. I'm your favorite teacher. I'm your favorite son or daughter. So these are examples of words that end with E that you don't hear the E being pronounced. Remember, I told you in some cases, these words have diphthongs in them, the vowel sound called diphthongs, and for that reason, it takes over the place of the E being sounded. But we have exceptions. Basically, for now, 2 words in my own research that end with E, but the E is sounded. Yes, the E is sounded not as E sound. So we have bona fide, that's the E sound, and we have machete, not bona fide. I'm a bona fide member of this school. All right, not I'm a bona fide member. So the bona fide, the E is pronounced, and in the machete, the E is pronounced. What we commonly call machete is actually pronounced as machete. So you see that the E is pronounced both in bona fide and in machete. Now we have the rule, again, silent letter G that we have, but they are not pronounced. G is often not pronounced when it comes before N. So when we have G before N, it's not pronounced. Perfect example, we have champagne, we have foreign, we have sign, we have feign, we have foreign, we have design, we have align, and we have cognac. Now we have exceptions. Like I told us earlier that there are some exceptions in English language, and these are one of them. So you have the word magnets. The G is pronounced, all right, even though it comes before the N, but it's pronounced. Then ingenious, okay, igneous is also pronounced. Ingenious is also there. Cognitive and signature. Cognitive and signature. So these are words that have G and N after it, but they are pronounced. All right, let's look at the next one. We have word with silent GH. Words with silent GH. It says GH is not pronounced when it comes after a vowel. All right, remember our vowel A, E, I, O, U. So once there is a vowel and you have after a G, that G is not pronounced. Now these are examples, though we have exceptions, but these are perfect examples. You have thoughts, you have droughts, you have through, you have thorough, you have barrow, you have daughter, you have light, might, size, sight, all right, right, fight, way, and wait. But here are some exceptions. Doghouse, the G came after a vowel, but the G was pronounced. Foghorn is also G coming after a vowel O and pronounced. Big head, I is a vowel, and after I we have G, but the G is pronounced. So these are some of the exceptions that we have. Now we have GH is sometimes pronounced like F. Yes, sometimes it's pronounced as F. The G is pronounced as F. Not, remember the initial one we said that they are not pronounced at all. Then we saw where the GH is pronounced. Now we also saw a case of the GH sound being given another sound. Not that it's not sounded, but it sounds as G, as F. Rough, tough, laugh, enough, cough, cloth, and draft. So these are examples where they sound as F. Then we have the silent H. Very important, because you know sometimes when you are when you know these silent letters and you hear people mention or pronounce, let me use the word pronounce. When you hear people pronounce the silent letters, you get startled. You get uncomfortable because you're used to not pronouncing them, and you know that they ought not to be pronounced. So we actually look at common words that they are silent, but people pronounce them. They don't know, maybe they don't know. Yes. So rule number one for GH says that it's not pronounced when it comes after W. When it comes after W, it's not pronounced. Think of your WH words like what. So it can be wuhat. It can be wuheng. So it's what, when, where, whether, why. All right. So these ones are that way. Then the rule says H is not pronounced at the beginning of many words. Remember to use the article "an" when you are mentioning your unvoiced H. Very important. I would like to say something about that. Now, way back in school, we were made to understand that our article A is used for consonant letters. Yes. If you have a consonant letter and you want to pronounce a word starting with a consonant letter, use your words, your article A. And when you have a word that starts with the vowel letter, use an. But I want to clear something today. that as long as we want to pronounce a word, we must not look at the physical letter. Rather, we'll think of the right pronunciation. Because sometimes certain words start with consonants, and trust me when I say at the point of pronunciation, it is a vowel that you start off with, just like the examples we have here. These 4 words are perfect examples. Now, if we go by the rule of A for consonant words and for vowel words, we'll be making mistakes saying an hour ago, I am a honest person. You stand okay, yes, I am an honest person. I am an heir to the throne. That will be very wrong. So because we look at pronunciation other than spelling, we will now say that I left this place an hour ago because the H is not pronounced. The H is not pronounced in all these 4 words, so they attract the article and. That's just the explanation we're trying to make. So an hour, an honest person, I mean an honor. That was an honor. I was given an honor the moment I stepped into the house. Then I'm an heir to the throne. I'm an heir to the throne. So whenever we see any of these 4 words, please and please know that the H are silent and they attract the article and, not a. Now exceptions, we have heal, we have history, height, happy, hereditary, plus most other words beginning with H that are not of French origin. Yes, once they are not of French origin, yes. And remember to use the article A with voiced H. That is just the thing. So when you have the, I'm going to a house, yes, I'm going to a house. So that is it. Then we'll have silent with silent K, silent L, and silent N. So for rule, K is not pronounced when it comes before N at the beginning of a word. Knife, knee, no, knock, knowledge, and need. So L is not pronounced after the vowel A, O, and U. A, O, and U. So A, come, have, talk, walk, would, should, could, calf, salmon, A, O, and U. Once you have vowels A, O, and U, and after which you have your L, the L is not pronounced. Exceptions, you have hallow, you have bulk, you have sulk, you have hold, you have sold, fold, and mold. So there are exceptions, and these things, we must know them. So N says it's not pronounced when it comes after M at the end. So once N comes after M, it is not pronounced. Autumn, hymn, column, solemn, damn, condemn, and lame. Silent P, silent PH, and silent S. Silent P, silent PH, and silent S. So P is silent in these words: psychiatric, pneumonia, pneumatic, psychotherapy, psychotic, psychologist, pseudonym, and pterodactyl. So you see that the P's are not pronounced. In PH, sometimes produced like F, telephone, paragraph, alphabet, epitaph, epiphany, and sophomore. Rule A says it's not pronounced before L. This is island, isle, islet. All right, so once you have the I, it's not L before it. To say S is not pronounced before L. Islet, isle, isle, and island. So that is it. You don't pronounce the S. Then we have silent T, silent U. Silent T and silent U. So here the T's are not pronounced. Christmas, castle, fasten, listen, often, whistle, thistle, bustle, hasten, soften, rapport, gourmet, and ballet. So these words, the T's in each of these words are not pronounced. Then U is not pronounced when it comes after G. U is not pronounced when it comes after G. guess, guiding, guitar, guests, guild, and guard. Okay, so we have words with silent W, words with silent W. Rule 1 says that W is not pronounced at the beginning of a word when it is before the letter R. So once you see a word that has R in it, but started off with a W, the tendency that the W, it's not pronounced, is there. That's when W starts the word rather. All right, so we have such words as rap, right, wrong, ring, wreck, wrestle, rap, and wrist. Now again, we have W, where W is not pronounced in some of these words, WH words that are not pronounced, and also some words that have W in them, but the W is not pronounced. So we have whose. So in this we have, it's starting with H, not W. Who is also there. Whom, whole, whoever, answer. The W is not pronounced in answer. Sword. Some people pronounce it as sword. They feel the W should be pronounced, but today we are knowing that W is not pronounced in the word, the S-W-O-R-D, sword, not sword. Then we have to. The W also is not pronounced. All right, we have come to the end of the class, so this is your task. I would like that you do the task before you, which says that you identify silent letters in these words. Identify the silent letters in these words. Now when you're done, please check our app, go through some oral English activities, and see how far you can identify silent letters in the words. Thank you for participating in today's class. You can practice more questions using the ExamGuide app. The app scores and gives a detailed explanation of all the questions at the end of your practice test. You can learn a particular topic of interest with different modes like study mode, mock mode, and practice mode. It also has other features that make learning fun. It is a must-have for all serious students. Download from www.examguide.com if you don't have it yet. See you in the next class. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, and share the videos to people that will benefit from it. Bye.